What's going on? How do I see? Yeah, the jacket does do a lot of talking. It does do a lot of talking. Good morning, or good whatever. Welcome to the office of Duds by Dell. How's the sound quality, by the way? This is the first time I've connected the mic to my phone like this. Do I feel uncomfortable zipping up the jacket and walking? Like, uncomfortable from the physical sensation of wearing the jacket? No, not. This is a comfortable jacket. It's not too tight, and I could show you. Like, this is how, if I'm zipping it, it would normally be. It's very easy to wear. Okay, thanks, Randy. It's a great mic. It's the one that came with this DJI camera I got recently. What's up, Daniel? So, this is a really comfortable jacket. So, it's not uncomfortable. This is something that, oh, there's my forehead. I'm trying to read here. Yeah, so I did have a couple of other jackets in Chrome Excel Horsehide that were less comfortable. And I think that is one of the things that Vanson does very well is make a comfortable jacket. Those jackets that I had that were less comfortable, there was kind of a couple of reasons for it. They were Aero jackets from Aero leather, and sometimes sizing can be difficult with Aero. And I find that as much as I like Aero jackets and I really like my Aero Highwaymen, some of their jackets just are not comfortable for all body types or body compositions, or the shape of your shoulders to neck to the armholes on the jacket can be just less comfortable. And so I had there's that, which is point number one. And point number two is, and someone made a comment recently about this, asking about comparing this leather to my Aero jackets. So this is kind of an interesting way to be able to approach it, which is there is a wide variation in the weight of the hides from Aero sometimes. So this is my only experience with a Chrome Excel Horsehide jacket. You know, I ordered it from the same place that Aero does, from the Horween Tannery in Chicago. So the leather is, to my understanding, the same, but over time with Aero ordering these like vast quantities of horsehide from them, they see more variation, right? And so I had a 1950s half belt from Aero in their horsehide, and the hide on that jacket was just absurdly thick, like very, very thick. It was at least 4 ounce, maybe heavier. It was built like a tank. I've posted some reels of it, and that contributed, I think, it being such a heavy leather that to the discomfort. But that being said, I think that if this jacket was made in that really heavy leather, it would actually still be comfortable. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. And it's interesting because the way that the names are shown here, it's a little different, I think, than what I normally see in the comment section. I do want to try the Barnstormer. Or the Mariner. There's a few of the bigger, like, coat style jackets from Aero that I think are pretty cool. Yeah, Andy, this is just how it comes. Someone also asked if I did really recently, I haven't replied to the comment. Did I do anything to the leather to make it shiny like this? No, I did not. And yeah, some of it was. And I think also there's been, like, over time perhaps, like as enthusiasts follow different passions, for a while, people were really looking for heavy leathers. That was the desire, and the weight of it was what people wanted. And so there were these heavier jackets. You know, kind of famously, Lost Worlds would use really heavy leathers. But even now, their leathers, people are often getting, you know, more approachable weights from Lost Worlds. Oh yeah, Andy. You know, I mean, some I see the difference. I think that a lot of shine can be a turnoff for understandable reasons. Just you're already wearing like a really cool leather jacket, and maybe you don't want something that is so kind of shiny, blingy, attention-getting. You're already wearing a motorcycle jacket, right? I mean, a lot of times that's pretty attention-getting in its own right. Yeah, but the that's what it was like with the Premier Highwayman, and then to a certain extent also with the 1950s half belt and that tank-like heavy Chrome Excel. It was not wearable. I've been wearing this jacket, and so kind of to the theme and the thought behind this particular live, which is this jacket. This is day 10 basically of having it and wearing it every day. It's been very easy. I was like buckled up and ready for it to be like kind of challenging and maybe needing to take painkillers, like, you know, ibuprofen or something like that at the end of the day just because of the jacket. Stuff I've had to do with some of those other ones. But it has not been like that. It's actually been quite easy. Yeah. Mike, you're a thick boy. If you typically wear a size 45 to 46. I mean, I typically wear a 40 and I wore a 38 in this. So I have to imagine the 44 would probably work well for you. I've done a bunch of videos on the sizing, but standard is size down one from your typical size, so to speak. Yeah. If you're a 44 to a 46, you would wear a 45 or 46, then you would wear a 44 in the C2. Yeah, yeah. I have that information on the site at doesbydell.com. The link is in the description here to this particular jacket. You can see the size chart I've put there and a general sizing recommendation with all of my details and how I wear the jacket. I also made a video, if you want to go check it out, which is getting the perfect fit on a Vanson C2. Just try to be able to point people in the right direction if you're not sure. But generally, if you want to fit like this, not an oversized fit, but one that I could fit like one thick layer, one warm layer under this, but not two. But it still looks good with a t-shirt, as you see. That would be one size down from standard. Next jacket, new color like red or blue. I am interested in that actually, but the next one is going to be in this same leather. I ordered enough for 2 jackets, so we'll see how that goes. Although variety is the spice of life, I'll be ordering different colors. The next jacket is going to be from Vanson that I'm doing is actually the half belt style that we kind of made together. I got to come up with a name for this jacket because it's an original piece. It's based on the Enfield, but it's different. Yeah. Oh, thanks. Yeah, the belt is from Legendary Vintage Belts on Instagram. It's death or glory, baby. Death or glory. All that nonsense. Yeah, Battle Lassie is really nice. Some people don't like the squeak. It doesn't bother me at all. I think if there's one negative, it would be that squeak. But honestly, okay, if you're in a quiet room, if you're at a concert, like a piano concert, or at the theater, a place where basically everyone is being really quiet, then the sound of that Battle Lassie hide can get in the way. But like any normal background noise, walking down the street, at a restaurant, going to the movie theater, all things which of course I've done in the Battle Lassie hide jacket, that squeak disappears into the background. It's not really a thing. I think it's something that's easy to be bothered by if you're trying on a jacket in your room at your house and no one is around and it's a very quiet space, basically. But to me, like in real world scenarios, the squeak is a non-existent problem. But I would like to try some different colors, Randy, once I get, beyond the black. There's obviously a variety of really pretty colors from Battle Lassie that I haven't tried yet. I want to do the whole rainbow at some point. And there's also, like the Chrome Excel colors, just with these two leathers. There's the Cordovan from Chrome Excel, the color 8. There's navy Chrome Excel. There's also navy Badalassi. There's olive Badalassi. I mean, there's some really great colors. Boda skins, probably not. I might review them at some point. People seem to like them that are into them, and there's a guy, King B, that really likes Boda skins and Vanson that is on Fedora Lounge, and the jackets seem pretty cool for what they are. Oh yeah, Mike, I really love Teddy jackets. I've had several. They were all secondhand. I didn't quite get the fit that I really needed from Teddy in the jackets that I got. That again were secondhand. They were not jackets like, I was kind of taking a chance on them because the price was right and I was hoping they would fit well. um, but yeah, I mean, I love his jackets. They're fantastic. They feel fantastic on, even if the fit wasn't totally right. They were really cool, and I think that he's one of the best jacket makers ever. All right, see you, Landon. Langdon? Landon. Yeah, see you later. A bad Lassie barnstormer. Yeah, I can imagine. Just like all over the place making the noises. Where did I source the lining on the C2? So there's no secrets here. Everything is transparent. Even as I said, the pricing is transparent, which I put in a different video. On the website, it's Sevenberry. It's listed as pattern Sevenberry lining, which is the maker. It's Sevenberry Nara Homespun. If you just search for Sevenberry linings, leather out of, Sevenberry cloth from Japan, you'll come across it. There's sellers in the United States, and they have a bunch of different patterns. Essentially, all of them are beautiful. They don't make anything bad looking. And the Nara Homespun is the particular one. Someone asked a question about the lining. It's kind of a kind of rough homespun. It's not like super slick or smooth, but it's not like it's. I find it softer, for example, than the cotton drill and the arrow linings. Just really beautiful stuff. Well made, robust. Hi, Johan. Have I been working on? Oh, working out? I actually have. Also cut my hair yesterday. I trim it at the house myself, which always cleans up, But yeah, I started rucking and working out more regularly, and I really enjoy it. The epaulettes on the C2. Well, if we're going for the classic style, that's the style. And I was trying to stick really close to the classic style. I'm not married to the epaulettes. I actually really like a jacket without the epaulettes and a smooth shoulder. Even the action back, I'm not married to any of these features. I think they're cool in their own right, and if you're going for a certain thing, it's cool. I really, actually, for the epaulettes in this, I'm interested in seeing them settle down. I might need to take some more drastic measures because it's really just going to hang out, poking up like that for a while if I don't kind of press it into shape or something. But it's not. It's just part of the style. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, the Bad Lassie does get quieter, but you have to condition it perhaps. When it gets wet, that helps. People say all those things. The leather is, the details are on the website, and I don't want to misstate, but it's not super thick, and I will say, an interesting, distinction, and I will at some point do a comparison because people, like to know these differences. The Chrome Excel Horsehide is listed as roughly the same weight. Perhaps it's around, it's close. In my experience, it's a little thinner and denser, though, than the Badalassi. The overall weight of this jacket in Chrome Excel Horsehide is about 1 pound less than the Badalassi Steerhide. So even being a little denser, it is overall a lighter jacket, and so the leather is a little lighter. I don't put the jackets, someone's asking about how do I store the jackets. I store my jackets on hangers with pool noodles or thick plumber insulation to make a bigger, basically, shoulder to fill in that space so you don't get the hanger nipples where it pokes a space into the jacket as it weighs over time, and it helps the jacket to drape more like it would on the human body more naturally. I made a video about this a long time ago, but that's kind of the standard recommendation. You see people like Leather Jacket John, for example, lots of folks. But John is a good example because he has so many vintage jackets. Like, how does someone with this kind of collection take care of it? and you put it on a thick foam pad over the hanger to protect the jacket long term, and then they just hang. Oh, so Bunny's asking about Ironheart Type 3 Horsehide jackets. I like the Ironheart jackets quite a bit, except one thing. They have just absolutely phenomenally long arms kind of across the board on their jackets. I haven't looked at the particular measurements on this one, but it's been the case for basically every jacket they've put out that I've actually looked at the measurements. The sleeves are like longer even than how Vanson's standard long sleeve would be. So like I took an inch off of the length of the Vanson standard because like they make that would put the sleeve like to here at this relaxed position, which is pretty long. And so if I put my arm down and the sleeve goes a little further, that would put the sleeves over my knuckles. With the Ironheart standard length, it would be beyond this knuckle. It would be like somewhere in here with my arm hanging down. That's very long. Now some people have these long monkey arms or whatever they want to call them, really dangly, langly arms, but that's just long for me. And I'm not needing to be up in the riding position. And as TJ from the shop has said, and I thought was a very interesting response, people will say, oh, it's not a true motorcycle jacket, the arms aren't long enough. Well, a lot of people that ride motorcycles have gloves or gauntlets they want to wear, and you don't necessarily need a long sleeve. I'm not riding, it's not a thing for me, but, you know. Yeah, Bunny, I mean, it might very well be for you, you know. Vegan or faux leather jackets? It's not something I've looked at all, not even a little bit. So I'm sorry, Andy, I can't really answer the question. 623H, which one is that? Is that the new one? Is that the mechanic's jacket or the Type 2 jacket? I'm not sure which one. You can shorten, Bunny, you can shorten leather jacket sleeves. It can be kind of expensive though. Especially sleeves with a zipper are more expensive. You know, I got quoted something like 200 or 225 to shorten sleeves with a zip from Johnson Leather, and maybe 150 or 175 to shorten ones that didn't have a zip. Yeah, I'd be curious. It's something you need to be careful about. I don't know who you're talking to, but if it's someone that's not familiar with leather and shortening it, if it's a standard tailor and they haven't done the job before, you might consider seeking out a specialist like Johnson Leather or Dina at Great Leather. If that's not possible, you know, you do your best. But 70 seems really low. That's a really good price from what I know. So other things about this jacket, the break-in. So we've been on, this is 10 days basically. Like I mentioned, it's been really easy. You know, the one thing that that happened other than just wearing it, it's been getting warmer. So some notes about how I've been wearing the jacket. I wear it as much as I can. That often means indoors when I'm in my car. And when I can outside when the weather permits. I did on day 6 or 7, was out for a walk in the late afternoon and got caught in a rain shower for about 15 minutes. That really I would say that did, and the kind of thing that you get, you see how the creases on the arms, they were already starting to form, but it did help to set them a little bit. It helped them to form a little more, and it caused some more of the grain to pop. You also see interesting things in development like this, and these are things I really love, like as someone that's into the forming process. I wear a watch on my left, and so it has created a different kind of shape on the sleeve than on this side. I don't know, interesting. I love seeing those little details. But rain on a jacket like this is totally fine. You just have to make sure it's properly dry after you're done with it. I've had collars fixed because of pesky flaps that go across the neck. You mean these? The lapels? Oh, cool. Congrats, Light Out of Darkness. Yeah, it's a cool jacket. I really like shot jackets. It'd be cool to be able to carry in the shop, but they only allow vendors who have a physical store that is business hours, that's open, you know, pretty much, you know, Monday through Friday, for example, or, you know, that's staffed all the time, which is not what I have. I have a web store. to sell their jackets, which makes sense. Which makes sense. You know, Shot has a very large online presence, and they don't really want to compete with people that only are selling online because they're doing that. It's interesting. Vanson does sell online, but I feel like I didn't know this, but a lot of their model is really making jackets to order as a manufacturer for other shops. So they have a kind of different setup. Opinion on Y2 leather jackets. Oh yeah, water bottle method to break it in. HR55, it's a really cool looking jacket. I have never personally had a Y2 jacket, and the reason I mainly stayed away from them is because just looking at how they were on other folks and looking at the measurements for the jackets, I never quite felt like the fit would work properly for me, although I've been very curious. I've come close a few times to getting one, but I was never confident in the sizing with the Y2 jackets. Oh yeah, with the little snap or some other kind of adjust, like a buckle or whatever that goes across the band collar situation, Randy. Do I prefer the C2 over the 618? I think they're different. I like them both. I think that the C2 has a more dramatic collar, which I actually really like. And it's kind of funny. It's not something I thought about at all. Not at all. Until I did a comparison video. American Legends Face Off, I think was the title of it. And I really looked closely at the Shot 618 and the C2. And after looking at this collar shape, which I feel flows more naturally from bottom to top compared to the 618, which the collar shape is more, it's smaller and it's more blunt and it kind of just pops open like this, you know? I really think that the C2 collar shape I prefer. But they're both great jackets. It's kind of, how do you decide between the two? I really like the C2 though. No, I've never fallen asleep in a leather jacket. I heard about people doing it all the time, but no. And I mean, my sleeping position, this is funny. I don't really nap anymore. I haven't napped regularly since I was in college, I guess. And my like standard sleeping position would involve like these really awkward like ways that I lay on the bed. It would immediately be like, I got to get out of this jacket. I can't get comfortable. I'm not falling asleep. So it's just not something that happens to me. Light Out of Darkness, yes, I do plan on making it in lots of different colors and right now so far I've done 2 colors, as you perhaps know, 2 Badalassi colors, the cognac and the walnut, and now in this black chrome excel. I would really like to do it in a whole bunch of different colors. I think the brown chrome excel would be pretty cool. I really like the walnut. I think it's a really great kind of light, medium, milk chocolate kind of color, which is just really beautiful. This jacket, King of the Clutch, this is a black chrome excel Horsehide, which is a combination tanned leather from Horween Tannery in Chicago. And it is a T-core leather. You can kind of see, and this is some interesting detail here. You can see here, that's the flesh side. It's brown. And then they've coated it with this black. And so as you wear it, you slowly see the brown kind of peeking through, especially in high wear areas. Has there been a pricier jacket that hasn't held up well? Like one that I've had? You know, most of the expensive jackets that I've had have been pretty good. I mean, I think the main question is, do you reach for it? Do you wear it? Does it fit with your style? All of the more expensive jackets that I've had from like a robustness standpoint have been fine. Although I will say I have not had any expensive like sheep or lamb jackets. But all of the different cow hides and horse hides that I've had have all held up really well. Tone grill, the sizing compared to the Shot 618, almost there are some differences, but essentially the C2 runs bigger, and whatever size you wear in a 618, for the most part, you should wear one size down in the C2. Now the C2 for my shop is modified to have shorter sleeves. You will find if you buy directly from Vanson, their standard C2, even if you size down one, as compared to a Shot 618, you will have kind of long sleeves. But the way that I've gotten it built is it's very similar to the 618 in general sizing recommendation. The big difference, this jacket has bigger biceps, and this action back is deeper and I would say more effective than the one on the Shot 618. And you'll notice this jacket does not have underarm footballs, which I actually prefer from a comfort standpoint. If you have underarm footballs, you end up squeezing it under your armpit, and it kind of bunches up under there. But even without the underarm footballs, the space in the top block of this jacket, from bicep to here to the shoulders with this deeper action back, is more comfortable and allows for layering more easily. So compared to the Shot 618, like this 38 C2 and a 40 Shot 618, which I have compared in a video if you want to go check out American Legends Face Off or something like that. The C2 is easier wearing. The Shot is more trim and neat. Yeah, so King of the Clutch, I don't know what to say because I had concerns myself about this. I have to think that it's the way that Vanson makes jackets is just, it's a more comfortable jacket because Vanson makes jackets. They're used to making jackets out of like really robust competition weight cowhide. So they make jackets that are well suited to the human body and to body mechanics. So I've had a very comfortable break-in process with this jacket, even with it being Chrome Excel Horsehide. Hey Mark, how's it going, man? Rude Vega, bottom hem circumference size in the Chrome Excel C2 size 36. This is a really specific question. The answer is pretty simple. If you go to the size chart, and I've been asked this question enough times, I should probably just put it on the site. I'm going to do that actually. It's a good thing for doing live is that sometimes it brings things up that we should be doing. Anyways, it's 2 inches less than the chest pit to pit. So if the 38 is a 22-inch chest, the 36 would be a 21-inch chest. I'm going off memory here. So it would be a 19-inch hem. There's a 2-inch drop across all sizes from chest to hem. Andy, personally, I don't like Thursday boots. I did a video a while back on their jackets. I think they have a big following. People want to buy cheap things. They want to feel like the cheap things that they're buying are high quality. I don't think that Thursday Boots is high quality. I've never had their boots, so I can't speak to the boots. But the jacket I had was kind of garbage. I would not buy their $350 Thursday Racer jacket. I would buy some, if I really wanted to save money and didn't want to buy Shot, Arrow, or Vanson used, I would buy some other used brand and just save the money because I don't see the quality. I don't think Thursday's great. I think that they have a very huge hype machine. They have lots of money from selling things at a low price, but not personally a fan. Palzo, yeah, the belt is, this is kind of specific, but on Instagram, there is an account called Legendary Vintage Belts. And that's where I got this belt. If you want to see more of it, pull the jacket up. He does studded belts. There's a lot of folks that do cool belt work and studs and stuff like that. This is the one I got from this guy. These different types of jeweled belts. I really like Duke Manty as well. I had a belt from him, but I accidentally lost it at the airport. C2 has that plastic look. 618 looks better. Now, do you mean this specific C2 or the C2 as standard from Vanson? I don't think that this leather looks plastic at all. I think that the standard leathers from Vanson that you buy, if you're buying directly just from Vanson instead of the special orders from my shop, I do think that the standard Vanson leathers can kind of look plasticky. I think that when you look really close at the standard Vanson leathers, you can see big pores because it's kind of a corrected situation. You know, those jackets that Vanson is making, their core concept is to make jackets for the bike. And so they're concerned about the functionality, about the abrasion resistance, puncture resistance. Can this leather stand up to the use? The look of it is by far not even second place to them, probably third place, right? So I do agree with that, but I don't think that this looks plastic. No, this is Chrome XL Horsehide. This is not a plastic looking leather. I will disagree with that. The ones on my site that are in cognac and walnut does not look like plastic. These are beautiful premium leathers. This is not just like my opinion. This is like, go to Aero and look. Their jackets don't look like plastic. Say hi to Steve. Is Langlitz worth the money? Langlitz is actually a fantastic deal. $1,000 for a custom jacket is pretty good. That's about the same price that you pay for a custom jacket from, say, Johnson Leathers. You go to some makers, custom can be very expensive. So I think that one of the kind of amazing things about Langlitz is the value, is the cost is quite good for what you're getting. I mean, Andy, I think the easiest way to answer your question is to look at my posts. I often do, but not 100% of the time. Yeah, I think that Johnson is good. I think anyone, and this kind of brings up this question about custom that comes up sometimes. There's an inside pocket here. Johnson does make good jackets. They make jackets that fit well on the body. You have to be really careful when ordering custom if that's what you're thinking of doing, because there can be oddities, changes to the shape and form of the jacket if you change certain dimensions. There's you need to be careful about it, and I would take their advice. And this is kind of my standard going custom recommendation is, if you're interested in going custom, I would really recommend getting into it with the thought of it being a process with the maker rather than it being one and done. Sometimes you go custom and you end up with the perfect jacket as a result. Sometimes it'll take a couple of iterations or sending the jacket back for alterations or resizing to get what you want. I've seen that happen with Johnson. Johnson does have very good customer service, so they will stand by the jacket and they will help you make it right. That being said, you know, understand that, and maybe you'll pay for shipping back and forth a few times. Maybe not. Maybe it'll come out perfect the first time. Also, I mean, Johnson remade a jacket for me that kind of had a messed up panel and the dimensions weren't what I was expecting. So if you are concerned about it, they 100% back up their jacket in a way that was really, they didn't give me a hard time about it. We had a direct discussion, and they said, this is the best way to handle this. So I think that Johnson has fantastic customer service, which you'd want from a custom maker. Some other custom makers like Theddy, for example, out of Greece, from what I've seen and from people buying jackets from him, has a really high chance to get the jacket right the first time. And that just goes to his excellence and his artistry and his patterns. And the fact that they tend to be shorter. There's a lot of things about the way that Theddy makes jackets that makes him a better chance to be great on the first shot. It's a good question, Eric. Yeah, you know, I have not worn the shot since getting this, obviously. I haven't thought about it too much. I like both jackets. I think the 618 is such a classic. I don't know. I have to mull on that one. Oh, hey, Costanzo. Yeah, the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. That sounds so awesome. If I do a live show sleeping in the jacket. Oh my God. I don't know if I could live stream sleeping in the jacket. I mean, you know, unless I was napping on a chair somewhere. I'm a family man, and you know, I don't sleep alone, so I don't know. Perhaps there would be privacy concerns with that. Maybe I could go nap some random place. That'd be a funny idea, though. How long can Dell stay asleep in the jacket? There could be odds. Over under. Will Dell be actually able to sleep? That's one. Will Will I be able to sleep for like a standard 45-minute nap or longer, or would it be less? Would I be woken up by the jacket? Especially if the belt is on, you know, jangling around, getting in the way. If I could travel to a country to get a custom jacket made in person, well, it would be Greece, and I would get it made from Teddy. As far as like, um, as far as custom, I mean, I the Japanese jacket makers that I like, I don't think I would want to get a custom jacket from them because I really like the jackets as they are. Part of the allure of Teddy is the customization process. Dean Pinnacle Horsehide Trucker Jacket Cognac. Light Out of Darkness. Who is making this jacket? Is it from Dean? Pinnacle Horsehide is a new offering from Horween, which is supposed to be pretty nice. Don't know a huge amount about this particular jacket. Will we get the same lining you have if we order? Yeah, so Mike, this was and this is something I put in the unboxing video because I wasn't sure, but I have this lining. At first I ordered it and then was told that they couldn't find more of it. And I already had this other red hex lining on hand, and I was like, oh dang, well, I guess we'll use the red hex if we can't find more of this stripe. But I was told by the supplier that I've been using that they actually found a way to get the quantity necessary for a run. So the current plan is this lining in the jacket, the stripe, the one that you've seen me wearing. That's the current plan. If something changes, I'll announce it, but that's the expectation. Oh, Light Out of Darkness, I don't know Dean as a maker. I'm sorry. I can't really speak to it. Sounds like a nice hide. Some people really like Pinnacle. It's supposed to be easy wearing. I had a similar jacket. Actually, the custom jacket that I had from Johnson Leather was made in the Vermont Espresso from a similar kind of softer horsehide line from Horween. It's a great leather, and Pinnacle is supposed to be really great too. But as far as the jacket itself, I'm not sure. Thanks, Costanzo. Yeah. Yeah, I really like this stripe. I wasn't sure, just from the pictures, how it would really look. To my mind, I was like, oh, it kind of looks distinguished. Speaking of distinguished riders, you know, kind of elevated. But I wasn't sure how the tones would work. If this was it was an accurate representation. I really do love it. And the red hex also looks really great. I think that, you know, both are pretty cool. I really love all the Nara Sevenberry stuff. Hey, Tone Grill, that's just how Vanson makes it. I agree. You know, it's kind of funny because to me, say I'm on my phone, which is the most common thing that I'm going to have in my hand that I'm going to want to pop into the pocket, is here, and then I'm done, and then I'm putting the phone into the pocket. I do switch hands and then put it in. I don't know. It's a good question. I'm going to have to ask Vanson why it is that they have it on this side. The only thing I can think is that it has to do with the arrangement of pockets. Okay, so, and this is why I do actually think this is the reason. This isn't just like a guess. You have a lot of pockets over here, right? You have the hand warmer slash vertical pocket. You have the coin pocket. You have the chest pocket. All of those put pocket bags behind this lining. So there's a lot of stuff over there. Whereas on this side, you have just the one zip pocket and not two other pockets there already. So putting the inside pocket on this side without all this junk in the way, that's why it's here. Otherwise, it would be like this panel is already thicker and has more stuff going on with it. It would be kind of overload to also have the inside pocket there. So that's why. Which is my favorite? Man, you know, variety's the spice of life. I like them all. I think the cognac I really like, and I think having been interested in like a natural or unfinished horsehide, and I've never had a jacket like that, the cognac is as close as I've personally gotten. So it's been kind of fun to have a jacket like that. A lighter leather that darkens with wear and patina. Because, you know, most of the jackets I've had they're black, which is about 60% of the jackets that I've had, or dark browns. They tend to lighten in the high wear areas. So it's been really fun having the cognac as the reverse of that. So far, I really like that. And then, I mean, I just really love this black. It's beautiful black. But it's been, I think, the most fun seeing the development of the cognac. Um, this lining on a Seinfeld episode. What? What's funny about me and Seinfeld? I always felt so in like high school when it was new episodes were coming out, I, you know, for me, and I could hardly bear to watch Seinfeld because I just felt such like embarrassment for the characters and the awkward situations that they were always getting into. It was like hard for me to watch. Like I had this like vicarious embarrassment. But like as I got older, it's just really funny. And so I watched it more, my 20s and later than I did actually whenever they were airing new episodes. Um, well, y'all, I am getting pretty close to having to be done with this. And the other things to know. So this is, yeah, cringes deep. This is day 10. I'm going to do this hopefully around day 20. And then again on day 30. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it all of those as a live. It depends on my timing, but I do want to do lives more often. And it's easier for me to do it on the weekend, obviously, since I work. But some evenings I may be able to do it during the week. So yeah, I'm enjoying this. I'm glad y'all came along. There will be more updates about this jacket. And is there any detail of the jacket that you would like to see? Let me know. And I'll try to show it while we're here together, or if any other questions you got. This has been fun. Yeah, I used to live in New Orleans, where it's hot all the time. It's like stays hot once it gets warm, and the humidity is through the roof. And sometimes, quite often over the summer, it doesn't go below 90 degrees overnight. It just stays hot. So I live in North Carolina now, and it's much more approachable. I would say in either case, um, air conditioning is your friend. Replace the main zipper, king of the clutch, yes. Um, there's a few folks that do that I've seen do it. Dina at Great Leather, Johnson Leathers in San Francisco. Um, Thurston Brothers apparently has jacket repair. I don't know if they do repair on just any jacket or if it has to be one that they sold. Um, those three come to mind though. Yeah, replacing the main zip. My inclination is to go with Johnson Leather or possibly Dina at Great Leather. How does the collar look? That's a great question. Looks cool as hell, of course. I did wear it when I got caught in the rain. Hopefully I don't mess up. Well, yeah, I'm gonna have to move this. Sorry, guys. I got caught in the rain and had a popped collar. Wore it in the true full coverage fashion like this, basically. Worked great. And if I had just been wearing a hat, I would have been like so comfortable. But I had rain all over my face. I haven't really worn it popped that much, but it pops fine. It stays up. It looks good. The collar has been the one thing that took a little time. The only point of discomfort in the break-in was actually the collar because it was rubbed against my neck before it assumed the shape. So doing this number a little bit kind of helped to push it into the more curved shape that you see because when it's right out of the box, it's flat and just wants to press against your neck. That was just a couple days of that. How does it look zipped up, both arms stretched? Yeah, hold on a second, Randy. Let me get that for you. Now, do you mean zipped up all the way, like to the top? I mean, I'll do that. And that part in the action back, this part in the action back that you can see that pokes out is actually kind of interesting breaking in pretty quickly. It's a small, thin panel, and it gets a lot of back and forth. So with time, that'll settle even more. Give this back a little bit so you can see better. My packaging supplies over there. I did this. If you like seeing that, Randy, like the range of motion stuff, um, the getting a perfect fit on a Vanson C2 video that I did, I basically do that wearing t-shirt, uh, a thicker shirt, and then thick layering shirt with a 38 and a 40, so you can see the range of motion. When customizing a jacket, is there anything that has been hard to translate in words to get to modify? Not really. Um, Main things that are troublesome are like depending on how you want. Like here's an example. If you want the length to be something, if you want it to be longer but not bunch up at the back, getting the hem right is really important. But if you get the hem too big, then the jacket takes on a bell shape. That's what I talk about when I say that there are complications in the design and measurement that can be hard based off what you want. And that's part of why I found that shorter jackets are kind of easier. um, or if you see a long jacket that you like, not modifying it too much because you start running into oddities that you might know what to expect. Yeah, Trent, it's going to post, it should, unless it doesn't work properly. I hope it does. Unless sometimes there's not enough space for it to process properly. I'm not sure, but it should. And I will be doing this more often. The goal is to do it hopefully once a week if I can for about an hour. Um, Today I only have about 45 minutes. I'm running out of time, as a matter of fact. Um, and I thought it'd be nice to do an update on this jacket as a live. Been wearing it now for 10 days. We're going to do a 20-day update or thereabout. Do I ever avoid places with strong smells when wearing a jacket? No. Honestly, I have an awful sense of smell, so it's very hard for me to even know if there are strong smells. But I, the goal for me is to have jacket, clothes, outfit in general, just that I can wear what I want to wear wherever I'm going. And so I'm not generally going to modify what I'm doing just because a place is a barbecue joint, for example. if it does if it does retain some of the smell of the barbecue joint, you can always just hang it outside in a place that it won't get rained on or whatever. Or um, if it's the lining that gets the smell, you can always spray a mixture like 50-50 um, alcohol and water, neutralize the smell. There's a lot of ways to get rid of that, but smells, no, I would not modify what I'm doing because of a smell. I mean, not generally, no, not unless you're like really in it. I mean, smoke smells will attach to a jacket. Heavy cologne use, if you wear cologne, it'll seep its way into the jacket. You know, I know that from having bought jackets secondhand from folks that did the same thing. All right, y'all, gotta go. Have a great one, and if you missed the start, hopefully Trent, it does post. I am hoping it will. Y'all have a good one. How do I? This is funny. I'm having trouble. Oh, there's the X. I was like, how do I end the stream? You got it, guys. I do want.